Hello, class 7th. In this session, we will see a poem, and the name of that poem is Chivy, Chivvy. Okay, what is the name of that poem? The name of this poem is Chivy. Okay, and what does Chivy means? Chivy means, here you can say, arguing someone continuously to do something. When your elder ones tell you to do something again and again, okay, something good, some good habits, that thing is called urging, not arguing, I'm sorry. Urging someone continuously to do something is called Chivy. Okay, so this is the today's poem. First we will read the whole poem, and then I will explain you the poem stanza wise. What is the poem telling about? Fine. So first let's read the poem. Now the poem Chivy. Grown-ups say things like. Grown-ups say things like. Speak up. Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't stare. Don't point. Don't pick your nose. This is the first stanza. What is the first stanza? Grown-ups say things like, speak up. Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't stare. Don't point. Don't pick your nose. Stanza number 2. Sit up. Say please. Less noise. Shut the door behind you. Don't drag your feet. Haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out from your pocket. Second stanza. I read again. Sit up. Say please. Less noise. Shut the door behind you. Don't drag your feet. Haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pockets. Third stanza. Pull your socks up. Pull your socks up. Stand up straight. Say thank you. Stand up straight. Say thank you. Don't interrupt. No one thinks you are funny. Take your elbows off the table. When you sit on the table like this, keeping your elbows on the table. Your parents, your elder ones, most of the time they tell you, this is not the way to sit on the table. Take your elbows off the table. Can't you make your own mind up about anything? I read the third stanza again. Pull your socks up. Stand up straight. Say thank you. Don't interrupt. No one thinks you are funny. Take your elbows off the table. Can't you make your own way? Can't you make your own mind up about anything? This is the whole poem Chivy. I hope you have understood something from the stanza which we read, first, second and third. What are we talking about? Chivy. As I told you, Chivy means urging someone continuously. As your elders urge you continuously. Don't do this, do that, stand straight, don't stare, don't pick your nose, don't keep your elbows on the table, wash your hands when before food, everything urge you again and again. Such thing is called Chivy. Okay, now let's learn the poem, or let me explain you the poem stanza wise. The first stanza is, what does the first stanza say? Grown-ups say things like, speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose. Okay? Now here in this poem, what is the poet trying to say? In this poem, the context, the poet is trying to say, he is pointing out the series of instructions given by the grown-ups. Okay? What is the context of this poem, of this paragraph? The context of this paragraph is that here in this paragraph, the poet is pointing out the series of instructions which are being given by the grown-ups. The poem opens with a long list of instructions, as you have seen. Speak up, don't talk with mouth full, don't stare, don't point out, don't pick your nose. Okay, such things are being pointed out in this paragraph. In all likelihood, these instructions are being issued by the elders. Such instructions are being given by the elders only. You all are small children. You must have also known this. Okay? The instructions which we are talking about, speak up, don't talk while eating, don't stare at someone, don't point out, don't pick your nose, shut the door when you enter, or shut the door behind you. So such instructions are also being given to you also in your daily life, right? And these instructions are being issued by the elders to their young ones. These elders can be anyone. They can be your elder sister, brother, uncle, aunt, grandparents, parents, anyone. Okay? Speak up. Don't talk while your mouth is full with food. Your parents most of the time tell you when while eating food or while having your lunch or dinner or breakfast or something, if you talk, your elder ones most of the time they tell you, don't talk while eating. Talking is very bad habit, not to talk. Okay? And so are just a few examples. Now these here I am giving you some examples, but most of the instructions you do know which are being given. Okay, to try to understand, so try to understand what is the poet trying to say in this poem. The poet is trying to say in this poem that the grown-ups have to teach their children. Okay, the grown-ups have to teach their children about the instruction, or you can say because the children are not able to make up their minds. So it is the duty of the elders to tell them. Today your elders are going to instruct you about the good habits, same things you are going to follow for your whole life. So that is why this poem is there. This Chivi poem is trying to say that the necessary instructions are to be given by the elders to their young ones. Now the second stanza says, sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, don't drag your feet, haven't you got a hanky, take your hands out of your pocket. Now these are some of the instructions which are being given again. Here in this para, let's read the para again. Sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, don't drag your feet, haven't you got a hanky, take your hands out from your pocket. In this, the poet continues to put an emphasis on how the young children are directed to act. Okay? In the previous paragraph or previous stanza, we had seen some instructions. Now here are some activities, or you can say some acts which are which the students, which the children you has are been directed, okay, to act in accordance to the instructions issued by the elders. In the second stanza of the poem, it is telling, continues that yet another sets of instructions. Instructions are too many, right? But in the second stanza, how are you supposed to act? Means how are you supposed to sit? How are you supposed to stand? How are you supposed to pick your nose with the hanky? Okay, each and every activity of the young child is administered and put under the surveillance of the grown-ups. Means your activity is being noticed by your elders. Okay, your activity is being noticed by your elders, so that if any of your action is wrong, immediately your elder ones can instruct you about it. Okay, so all your activities are under surveillance, you can say. Under surveillance means under a watch. Watch means not this watch. Watch means you are being watched. You are being seen by your parents. That how are you standing? How are you sitting? How are you talking? Okay, you should never stare on anyone continuously. Keep on seeing one thing. Okay, you should not talk while eating food. Whether it is anywhere, not only in the house, whether you are eating food in the school, whether you are eating food anywhere, in the restaurant or anywhere, you should not talk. So such instructions are being given by the parents. While walking also, if you drag your leg, dragging means not lifting up, you are only dragging your leg. At that time also your parents say, don't make noise while walking. It's not a good habit. When you put your hands in the pocket and stand and talk to the elders, that is also a bad habit. At that time also your parents instruct you that don't put the hands in the pocket and talk to the elders. So putting hand in the pocket and talking to anyone, whether it is your elder one or your young ones, is a bad habit. Never do that. Okay, so such instructions are being given by the parents. How should you act in front of others? Okay, you are being watched by your parents. How should you act? So you have to follow the instructions given by your elders, given by your adults, grown-ups. Okay, now in the third stanza, more about the instruction. It says, pull your socks up, stand up straight, say thank you, don't interrupt, no one thinks you are funny, take your elbows off the table, can't you make your own mind up about anything? Okay, this is the third and the last stanza. What does it say? Again, I'll read the stanza for you. Pull your socks up. Understood by this line? Means you have been instructed. Stand up straight. Say thank you. Don't interrupt. No one thinks you are funny. Take your elbows off the table. Can't you make your mind up about anything? Okay, so here the poet showcases how the child is still being reprimanded by the adult, though the child has grown up. Though you are grown up, for your parents you are still a small child. Right? Your parents will always be your parents. So they have the right to instruct you, they have the right to advise you. So though you are grown up, and if you think that now I am grown up, I know everything, but then too, if somewhere your actions are wrong, your parents still have the right to instruct you. Okay, but in this last stanza, what is the poet trying to say? That though the child are grown up, okay, The adults around them continue to reprimand them. What is reprimand? reprimand. Reprimand. Reprimand means a formal expression of disapproval. Means if then too you are grown up and your some of the actions are still not liked by your parents, means if they are not right, okay, they will still object for that. But this time it would be for some other reason. Okay, now the child is unable to decide anything for himself, because every now and then the parents keep on instructing him. He is not certain about anything. It's quite ironical, as the entire childhood of this child was spent blindly following the instructions. Okay, now from your childhood you have been instructed by your parents to do this, don't do this, do that, don't do that, right? Now because of this, when you are grown up, you try to follow that thing, but then too the parents, they are concerned about you. They keep on instructing you still if you are grown up too. But sometimes this leads to like you also get confused, okay, or you can say you are unable to decide that what is to be done. He is not certain about anything. Means again and again, if you are being instructed or said anything, sometimes it happens that you on your own get confused that what are you supposed to do. Are you supposed to take that instruction? Is this instruction right? Is this instruction wrong? Okay, so parents and teachers always nag their children and students with do's and don'ts, and these nagging is done everywhere, in the school also, in the house also. Okay, but in this poem it is, you can say, it is an eye opener for the parents also. Okay, it is an eye opener for the parents also. How? Here the poet in this poem is also trying to say to the students also, to the children also, and to the parents and teachers also, okay, that the small kids feel irritated by their elders when every time they are being instructed to do and not to do. Okay, so here the poet is trying to say that sometimes the parents should give some space to the children also. Watch their activity, do instruct them wherever they are wrong, but each and every time nagging the students or nagging the children is not at all right. Right? Many times it is there that when the children are grown up, it is a duty of the parents to leave the children on their own. Let them do by their own way of thinking also. Yes, if they are wrong, but natural and surely you should instruct them something. But each and every time nagging them, it's absolutely wrong. Okay, I'll explain you the whole poem together. We have learned the poem stanza wise, but now I'll explain you the whole poem in one go, so that it would be more easy for you to understand. Now the poet of this poem is Michael Wayne Rosen. He is the children's novelist and poet in the English language. He served as children's laureate, a political columnist. He contributed for children's fiction and poetry. The poem presents the contradictory behavior of the parents and other elders who reprimand for wrongdoings. They often talk about don't and expect children to be positive and optimistic. Means here in this poem, the poet is telling that the parents are really concerned about the parents, their students. Okay, the parents and the elders are really concerned. So on the wrongdoings of the children, they do reprimand. Okay, they do reprimand. Okay, and also expect their children to be positive. However, the norms of the society to make civilized and cultured individuals often restrict the natural tendency of the children. Now, because we move on with the society, sometimes your natural tendency, the children's natural tendency, is also being restricted. Children are very innocent, okay? Wherever they go, they behave in their own way. They don't try to show anything, okay? But because of the civilized and cultured individuals in the society, to make the society civilized and cultured, the natural tendency of the children is being restricted by these instructions. The aim of the poet is not to preach but to check the rude behaviors of the adults. Okay, means you should, here the poet is only trying to say that the adults should never try to restrict the, here I will say, the innocency of the children. Let the children work, let the children do as the way they want, but don't restrict them in a rude way. The poet discusses the contrasting expectation and reality. Parents and other elders constantly nag about everything a child does. Okay? Now, expectations, oh yes, the parents have the expectations of good habits and good things from the children, but continuously nagging them about everything is not good. They talk of free and expression but put conditions before it. The instructions which have been given by the parents, okay, they tell, okay, speak freely, you can do this, there you can do this, but there too they put conditions in that. For them, talking with youthful is a bad manner. They don't want the children to stare at, point or pick their nose, as these are not considered as bad manners. They behave as dictators. They decide how to sit, how to shut the door behind, not to drag the feet, not to put hands in the pocket, not to interrupt, or to take off the elbows from the table. They want the children to child to exhibit pleasing gestures like say please, thank you, or behave in sophisticated manners. Now the poem here indicates of time when the young child has grown up but incapable of taking his own decision. Then the same adult expects that the children to make an independent decision. Now here the poet is trying to say that if from the young age, okay, if the child is been instructed, he is not been let to take his own decision, how could the parents expect the child to take an independent decision when he has been grown up? Nagging every and each and every time is not good. Okay, you want your child to behave in a civilized and cultured manner where he is there in the society, where the natural tendency of the child is being restricted. How could the child live? Let the child be the natural as he is, he or she is. Okay? When the young child has grown up but incapable of taking the decision of his own, it is only because of the continuous nagging of the elders. And then we expect from our children to take an independent decision when we have not taught them that. How could they do so? So here, the theme of the poem is just to tell Okay, the theme of the poem is just to tell that the elders keep on giving to children instructions. Children are not capable of making their own minds, so the elders have to keep on reminding them all the time. But this can lead to the different way. This can lead in a different way. Okay, so let your child take the decision when he is grown up. Some of the decision let the child do on his own. Okay, if he is wrong at that point, you can instruct him. Okay, so this was the poem Chivi, which I have explained you. Now let's move to some of the word meanings which are related with this poem. Now our first word is drag. D-R-A-G. Drag. Drag means to pull. Drag means pull along forcefully, roughly, or with difficulty. Pull along forcefully, roughly, or with difficulty. Okay, next word is interrupt. Interrupt means stop the continuous progress of. Interrupt means stop the continuous progress of. Next is surveillance. S-U-R-V-E-I-L-L-A-N-C-E. Surveillance. Surveillance means close observation. Your activities are being closely observed by your parents. At that time it is said to be under surveillance. Next is sophisticated. Next word is sophisticated. Next word is reprimand. Reprimand is a formal expression of disapproval. A formal expression of disapproval. Next is optimistic. O-P-T-I-M-I-S-T-I-C. Optimistic means hopeful and confident about the future. Hopeful and confident about the future. Okay. Next, contradictory. C-O-N-T-R-A-D-I-C-T-O-R-Y. Contradictory means mutually opposed and inconsistent. Mutually opposed or inconsistent. Okay, whatever word meanings I have told you right now, you have to note it down in your notebook, but please don't note down the whole poem. Only note down the summary which has been given, because that summary will help you to solve the worksheet. Worksheets are a bit hard to solve, but if you are clear with the summary, it would be easy for you to solve it. Okay, so the today's word meanings are over. Drag, interrupt, surveillance, reprimand, optimistic and contradictory. Fine. With this, our poem Chivi is over. Please complete all your work, study well. Hope we'll meet soon. Till then, take care of your health. Bye.